All right, everybody, it's Tuesday up in the house for the H2G Podcast. I just want to go around real quick before we start things off. Chelsea, how is your week going?
It's going well. I don't know, this past weekend was kind of like a reset for me, just kind of relaxing around. I even ordered my groceries in. Speaking of the stuff we were talking about last week, I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. I'm doing laundry. I'm sleeping in, all that good stuff. So it was a really good weekend, a good start into this week, because I actually have a new person that started at work, and so I've been training her, and so yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Moving on to the other lady that's on the panel, Christy. How is your week going so far?
It's good. This kid, he's making a lot of noise, but he's been sleeping so well. Literally, the bags under my eyes are disappearing. It's effing amazing. I mean, I still have to cover him up with concealer and stuff, but it's so much better than I was. I'm sorry. I don't know why I do that. I have a nervous tick.
Well, it's okay. And if you missed Game of the Week last week on Friday, definitely check it out. Christy did a great job at Game of the Week last week. Justin was the winner finally, so yay. But we'll see what happens this week when we get closer to the end of the week. So, moving on, Marvin, my man, tell me how you feeling this week.
I'm feeling a lot better this week. I'm officially back in New York City. I spent a while in Ohio, spent a lot of time with Mom. It was great. And like I said, things change, when you go back home, things don't always stay the same. But it's great. I mean, I've come back to the city. I've hit the ground running. Looking for a new apartment right now. So that's fun and also stressful at the same time. So, but hopefully I find something soon, because I got to be out of this place in the next month. So things are looking up. Things are looking up right now. So I'm happy to be back.
Are we going to have shirtless guys still making cameos? Or are we getting new roommates too? How does that work?
I'm going down to 2. Shirtless guy around. So we are just currently looking in that New York market, man. It's New York City is still in a recovery mode, y'all know.
Yeah, the H2G podcast will not be the same without shirtless guys. So we definitely want to make sure that shirtless guy makes his cameo appearances. That definitely would be nice. Fabio in the background with the nice little pack going on. Yes, sir. Richie, tell us how's it going this week, my brother?
This week is going well. I bought new stuff, go figure. I ended up buying some stuff for my kitchen and my bathroom. I got these really awesome dispensers because I'm super blind. And so sometimes I buy the same shampoo and conditioner brands. And so I can't see very well. So sometimes I would shampoo twice instead of shampooing and conditioner. And I was getting tired of it. So I bought these dispensers and it goes left, middle, right. So it's shampoo, conditioner, body wash. So it doesn't matter how blind I am. I can see shapes. I just can't read. So I can shape, 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm not making that mistake anymore. It's also a little more sanitary. I liked it so much I ended up buying it for my hand soaps in my kitchen and in the bathroom. And I also bought one for hand sanitizer at the entrance of my place. So a whole bunch of new stuff there. Bought a new trash can. But maybe we'll talk about that some other time, because trash cans, oh my God, game changing. I didn't know nice trash cans matter. Totally matter.
Nice trash cans totally do matter. I couldn't even get it all out trying to say it, that they do matter. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about a couple of things today with the panel. We're going to discuss things that you can do with your friends and your family during the times that we live in. And I just want to tell you, it's really cool. Every week, my wife's family, they do a duo call. And it's kind of just to catch up and to go over some things. This last week, it wasn't a pleasant duo call because we actually talked about somebody that had passed away, but we still spent time together. So we're going to talk about things that you can do so that way you don't have to be locked in your house by yourself, Netflixing, Huluing, HBO Maxing, but getting some, being able to spend time with the people that you love and people that you want to spend time with. So a really great idea is you could start a podcast. That's a really good idea on something that you could do. I don't know who else has done that, but It's definitely been done before, so that's something that you can do as well. But Justin, kind of give us your thoughts. I want to pick your brain. What are some things that our viewers can do during these post-COVID times?
Yeah, I got a few things. My week's going well, by the way. Riding high on my victory. You know, I get how it is. I finally get a win. And, you know, I have to concede, I was super jacked up about my win, and I didn't realize I can't possibly win every week because when you win, you have to host. So
That's right. That's also saying that Scooby-Doo doesn't suck, but that's yesterday's show.
unless you all lose, and then maybe I still win. I don't know. There's a lot. Yeah, podcasting is one thing you could definitely get into. We took advantage of that as soon as the lockdown happened. I kind of reached out, and we all jumped together and made this happen. But as far as getting together with family and friends, I'll get the nerdiest one out of the way first. If you had a weekly, monthly, or bi-monthly Dungeons & Dragons game that got completely screwed up by COVID, they have immediately went to work and made it super accessible for people to play D&D on either a Zoom call, Facebook Messenger, however you want to link up Discord. But they've got a website called Roll20. Shout out to them. It literally has Tony's leaving me. Has the whole game board for anyone who knows what I'm talking about. Has the whole game board. Has a dice system. Has the ability to load your characters in, so you can essentially get the main thing you need. Right? If you can't all get together, the board and the character pieces. You can get all that at Roll20. D&D Beyond's another great one. You can make all your characters and everything through that. So anyway, that's one thing that I just happen to know sites and stuff for. Another cool thing is we've talked a lot about the streaming services. Several of them have created a pretty awesome app for just what we're talking about. HBO Max, Hulu, and I think Netflix, all three have, and maybe Disney Plus actually, yeah, Disney Plus does as well. They all have the watch party option. So I believe everyone, I don't know for all apps, I know for like Hulu for sure, everyone has to have a subscription or be signed into a subscription of the streaming service. However, you can set up a watch party so you can get into, again, Zoom, Duo, whatever you want to do to link up, and just somebody hits play on the movie and it plays for everyone. So kind of the thrill of watching a movie or a TV series with your friends again, only COVID safe. So that's just a couple things that I've checked out. What about you guys?
Well, first of all, there's one thing about the watch party I got to comment on, and we're going to talk about this way more in depth later during the week. Christy's got a segment I'm looking forward to. But one thing that's hella obnoxious about watch party and why I won't do it anymore is anybody can just sit there and pause or rewind or fast forward through stuff. So I don't know about you, but I absolutely detest when people have to like rewind something because they weren't paying attention. And it turns to find out that some of my friends and people I know don't pay attention, and then they be rewinding, and it's disrespectful as hell. So I don't recommend watch party unless you know the people you're watching it with have the same like energy as you do. So if you're the type of person where you have no problem with someone rewinding and then you rewind and then they then cool, watch party. But me, big thumbs down on the watch party. I am not a fan, but yes, it is on all the major apps, as Justin mentioned, HBO, Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix. You do have to have a subscription, every single person. So highly recommend that. As far as family and friends go, I mean, the guys already said most of it, I feel like, in terms of interaction online. What are you going to do? You can Zoom, you can Duo, which was already mentioned by Tony. I really think I'm always an advocate for going outside. So I think I'm still going to speak to that. I think, going for a hike or whatever your environment is. Now, obviously in California, there's going to be more things to do, but I'll just give you quick examples. You could go on a bike ride, rent a bike, go across the Golden Gate Bridge. You could walk it. Right after that, you can hit the beach below it, Baker's Beach. You could go down, take a nice little car ride or car rides if there's multiple of you, through Big Sur. Basically, you can do anything except like caves. So nobody gets to do Mammoth Caves, even though that's like one of my favorite places to go to. You're not allowed to do caves because you cannot social distance effectively in a cave, which you can in a park, you can in a forest, you can on a beach. You can do it pretty much anywhere. Just stay away from farmers markets. It's actually kind of funny because the CDC even said like, oh yeah, do farmers markets. Like, nah, you can't. People are stupid. Like they're going to walk in your bubble because they're going to want to get to the avocados. Well, the white people are. They're going to want to get to the avocados. So they will absolutely just walk right next to you. No problem. They'll absolutely get in front of you and not pay attention to stuff like that. So highly don't recommend going to the farmers markets. But
I just want to say, not all white people like avocados. They're effing disgusting.
Oh, no, that's fine. I only said that as a joke. White people don't like avocados. What they do is somebody likes avocados or they like something and then white people take it. So Hispanic people like avocados. White people just take it after the fact. That's what this really is. Like avocado toast, you really think white people came up? No.
I love avocados.
Yeah, I know you do. Why do you? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But yeah, avocados, I love avocados. I was just kind of messing. I just think it's funny because like avocado. Okay, here's an example. Here's what I'm trying to say. You drive to Gilroy, very I don't want to say this, a farming area in California. And actually there's a lot of farming areas in California. You go to Gilroy, avocados be $1. You come out here in San Francisco where the white people live and they $7. What's up with that? Just saying. Y'all make everything expensive. But we're getting off track. I'm sure somebody has some things besides just outdoor activities, online talking, and watch parties. Chelsea's got something. Chelsea.
I was going to agree with you on your comment about the watch party stuff because my ex actually was really bad about trying to talk to me in the middle of watching like a show or a movie. And as soon as he would start to talk to me, I would take the remote and I would pause what we were watching because I don't want to miss, especially like dialogues. I feel like that depending on the show that you're watching, that's really important. And he would be like, you don't have to pause it. And I'm like, you're speaking to me. Like, yeah, I do. You're interrupting what I'm watching. It was like a huge pet peeve. It drove me nuts. And now he's my ex, so it's not a problem.
Because that is a conversation I am with you on for sure. You would do besides not watching watch parties, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, one idea that I've actually, I talked about it with one of my friends. We haven't done it yet, but one of my friends the one that I'm actually going to go see for Valentine's Day, like we talked about last week. So I, in 2019, saw her probably every 3 or 4 months, and we lived across the country from each other. So we were used to seeing each other fairly frequently. So one thing that we had talked about doing was basically a dinner party where we would plan a menu and we would make the exact same things at the same time and set up a Zoom or FaceTime, whatever it is that you want to use, and set it up at the table as if you're both sitting at the table together and literally eat and drink the same things as you're as if you were at dinner together. So as close as possible while also still being COVID safe. Why are you raising your hand?
I have a question. Okay. What if one of you is really bad at cooking, and you I want to send my meal back. This is disgusting.
Yeah, no, I've almost caught an oven on fire with meatloaf.
Richie, you and I can do one of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I would pick maybe you order the same thing from HelloFresh. Another plug from last week. There we go. So that's always an option as well. But yeah, that was just a fun way. I'm a huge user of FaceTime anyway, because my family lives across the country and I've lived away from them since 2016. So I FaceTime with my mom fairly frequently. But I feel with everything with COVID and all that, I've kind of adopted a little bit more because just talking on the phone is so different than seeing somebody's face. So, and then I joined the podcast because great idea.
Why not?
Yeah.
The only thing I really took out of that, even though it was all great advice, don't get me wrong, but it sounded like you rich because you'd be flying to go meet your friend 4 times a year, you just said.
No, it was more so my friend that I'm going to visit, she does a lot of 5Ks and she loves Disney. So she was actually in Florida pretty frequently. She's the rich one. I hope she's watching this.
To you then?
Say what?
He come to you?
Yeah, she would come down to, like, sometimes I would go meet her at Disney, or she would come down to like the Sarasota area. We'd go to the beach. But every once in a while, because she at the time lived in Ohio, she has obviously since moved to South Carolina, but my family was already in Ohio. So when I would go visit them, a lot of times I would make plans with her while I was there. So throughout the year between her coming down to Florida and me going back home, we would see each other fairly often. But yeah, cheap tickets is and I have a Flyer Miles card where I get points for flights.
Okay, that because I was just curious, man. It's expensive. I only go on vacation domestically per year because that's expensive. I mean, yeah, family at least you cut out the hotel, but
yeah, and the flight that I'm taking in February, that was all paid for with points from using my normal credit card. So I just reimbursed myself with the points that I have. So that makes it a little bit better.
All you listeners, pay attention to that. Get a car, miles, buy everything while you're in COVID for the next couple of years, bank those bad boys, and then just go on an international trip once COVID's over.
Yeah. I have the Capital One card, but there's tons of them out there. Just research what works for you. But that's how you travel a little bit cheaper.
Sounds like she just got the Capital, man. Big traveler over here. Mark, what you do? What you doing? I know you got plans and what you do. You had your former roommate. We don't talk about her no more, or hallmate, whatever. So, what do you do when you chilling with your friendly peoples, your friends, and your family?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
It seemed like everybody covered everything that you could do during post-COVID. But the simple things that you didn't get to do when everything shut down. I recommend getting back to your gym again. Get your gym membership back. That's the first thing I did when they opened the gym back up. They only every gym is different, but for me, I know they only allow 50-minute reservation time. Hopefully during post-COVID, they just open the gym up completely and all the equipment, the sauna, pool, everything is open to everybody. I recommend that. Kayaking is actually a good idea post-COVID come spring, summertime. You get out there, depending on where it is, don't obviously jump in any river, which I know some people have done during COVID, just breaking rules. But I recommend that. It's fun. I know Tony's giving me that look like he doesn't want to go near water, but it's completely safe, Tony. You just wear a life jacket. You'll be fine. I promise you. Yeah, kayak. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yep, close the lid. Go ahead, close the lid. I'm sure everybody out there that's listening or watching the H2G podcast would like the kayak at some point. But anyhow, let's see what else. Lastly, I would say you could have a rooftop party. I know here in New York, that's a common thing. A lot of rooftop events got canceled during COVID. But if you can get with, your friends or your significant other, you could do something on the roof, when it starts to warm up. You can bring out a outside heater or so. If the both of you are vaccinated somehow, you can put a heater on the roof if you really want to take it there during the cold. Bike riding. My bike was stolen, so hopefully I hope to get another bike post-COVID. I recommend that to everybody. Just doing that. I don't want to go into the whole story. You said what? But lock your bike up. Make sure you lock your stuff up post-COVID if you do happen to get a bike, scooter, anything. Bottom line, post-COVID, everybody's excited, man, to get back to what they were doing. And if there's any activities I didn't name off, somebody please help me out. But I think y'all covered everything.
Marv, I got 2 questions I want to ask Tony.
What's up?
First question. You got 1 month before you're moving. So which lucky lady is going to get that rooftop date before you leave?
That's a good question. That is a great question. I have somebody in mind, but we'll see. don't know. Obviously, I don't want to simp before, Valentine's Day. So, I like the game of patience. I like being direct. So that'll get you very far. I'll see. We'll see what happens in the next coming weeks.
All right. Second question, Marv. You are way too muscular for 50 minutes to be enough in the gym. How else are you getting your workouts, man? 50 minutes ain't enough for you. You did like 100 push-ups like that. Well,
it's not, man. I mean, I got to squeeze in extra 10, 15 minutes until that person comes in and say, yo, get off the equipment. That's literally what I do. Like I'll keep going until somebody comes in and tells me to stop. But mostly prison workouts, man. Prison workouts from home. You got to do push-ups, 50 to 100 push-ups a day. Keep yourself strong. I have found you can relieve stress just by working out. That's the bottom line of this, right? You can. You just get rid of that stress. Chelsea, you were saying last week, you not watching as much TV or, subscribing to many TV streaming services. You started taking up running. So, I mean, that's what I do. I'm not going to. So 50 minutes, Richie, ain't enough, pretty much. Yeah.
I just wanted all the viewers to understand Marvin is ripped. He's shredded. So you don't get to see it.
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm pretty sure there's some viewers that can top me or whoop my ass. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so, man. See, like last week, he said something disrespectful.
What'd I say? What did I do?
You tried to take your own mantle and give it to me, but that's not how this works. We voted for you as the world's sexiest man. You don't just get to give it to someone else. You do not get to Marvin. So I wanted to clarify to the audience how much time this man puts into his body. All right? He's world's sexiest man for a reason. Tony, we haven't heard from you, brother. What do you like to do?
Oh, I mean, I covered it in the beginning. We do Google Duo, we do Zoom calls. My parents do a scavenger hunt, and it's for their club that they're a membership of. So basically they like hide hints in different places, and then the couples, they go and they find it and different stuff. So I mean, it's very Ohio-ish, so I mean, it's something different. We don't have rooftops that we can go up top and party at. The only beach that's in Ohio is this one right here. So we go and we party at cornfields, so that's what Ohio's all about. Dave Chappelle actually had a comedy show in the cornfield, and it was outdoors, and people went and saw it. I mean, it's awesome. Look, Richie's covering up his video. I don't know why. I'm just talking here, but just real quick, I'm gonna do a real quick recap, and unless anybody else wants to talk. So you got Zoom meetings, you got stuff for Dungeons and Dragons, you've got watch party, you got hiking, going outside. You got a nice little story about avocados, but we won't go into that, Justin and Richie. And then we have, someone didn't mention this. We can go back to the old days of writing letters. Who's written a letter lately? No one's written a letter and sent it out. I mean, it's something that you can do to let people know that you care. Book club, which I'm not a member of because I don't even know anything about books. That's hard copies or the ones that you can find on your iPads. But you could do a book club, read something, talk about it with your friends and your family. I wouldn't recommend 50 Shades of Grey. My mom wanted to watch that movie with me. I didn't know what it was about. As I was watching it with my mom, I had to go ahead and put it down, just like Justin should put that pussy down right now. Pussycat down. But anyway, Christy, really quick, uncover your mouth. You said you wanted to say something before we head off.
Yes. So, the Wisman family, we are crazy game players. So if your family and friends love games, I really recommend the Jack in the Box party games. So you just everyone jumps online, you just need your cell phone and you can just play together as a crew while you're on your duo call. If you don't really have anything to talk about, you can at least entertain yourselves and play a game. Or
Jack Box party.
Whatever. Jack Box, Jack in the Box. Oh, Jack in the Box is food, isn't it?
Jack in the Box is food. Jack Box is what you're talking about. I just want viewers to be able to do what you're talking.
Oh, yes. That's so smart. You're so smart, Richie. Thank you. And then another thing, if you're super competitive, you can start a garden and everyone in your family plants the exact same thing. And then you just win with, hey, you know what? Competitiveness.
Like best in show type deal?
Yeah, like, dude, my corn is 2 inches tall right now. What's yours look like?
If you're competitive, start a garden as the best garden. Like that's.
Can you commentate competitive gardening?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the CPG tournament, and I'm here live with the corn champion of 2019.
2 inches taller, Christy, how are yours taller? Explain your soil and why is it so fertile?
Oh, well, we did it earlier, like in the summer, but I shit you not. It actually happened. It was pumpkins and corn, and the pumpkins looked deformed as hell, but they were fun. And yeah, it was a jolly time. Don't knock it until you try it.
The most Ohio thing in this podcast was the gardening competition with corn.
A gardening competition. You know what I mean? Like most people garden so they can eat, not like to compete because they have that kind of space to be doing it like y'all. But
well, when you're bored and you're
Marvin,
stuck at home, might as well.
Well, Marvin, the pumpkins had a good showing, but the corn was deformed this year. We're not sure what was going on. What's your take from the field?
I think it's honestly, Christy, sounds cool. It was just funny how you prefaced it because it was like, if you guys are competitive, let me get you in on a secret.
So, like 2 years ago. Oh yeah, this is going into a whole thing. So
backstory.
Yes, my husband's family all got these acorns from a tree that their dad cut down later that year or whatever. So they all planted this stupid ass acorn, and ours is the only one that survived. So suck it, winnings. Our soil is better.
All right. Only here on the H2G podcast do we have competitive gardening, I'll tell you. And I'm glad Richie summed it up that it was Jack Box, because Jack in a Box, I didn't know it was a restaurant. It sounded like a really bad dare that I did in high school. But anyway, going on to tomorrow, we have a great show for you. We're going to be talking about growing pains and all that jazz. You're watching and listening to H2G Podcast on Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.